It's not the hardest trek we've done, but we're having to work for it today.
Kandy. If you're coming to Sri Lanka, you're probably going to find yourself here. There's a few things to do, like the Tooth Relic Museum, a few markets, but you're likely going to board the train here to get to Ella.
Insider tip to the train: you can make reservations in advance online, or you can show up to the train station and buy them. But don't expect for there to be tickets readily available. You might have to come a little bit early, like maybe an hour, hour and a half early day of, in order to secure a ticket.
You want to head to counter number 5 to get that ticket. Buy the ticket morning of for second class from Kandy to Ella. It costs 240 rupees. Seats not guaranteed. The train gets super packed and it doesn't look like anyone gets a seat. We had second class tickets and the trains are like sardines. So we're currently standing in third class and honestly, it's not that bad. But we haven't started moving yet and it's supposedly a 7-hour train ride.
5 hours into the trip with 2 hours remaining, and we were finally able to get seats.
In third class.
So just don't bank on getting seats, and don't buy first class tickets.
Don't buy
or
second class
tickets either.
Just buy third class, get on third class, and wait until somebody gets up and top squat.
Just get on the damn train.
Get off the train, you're gonna need to find somewhere to stay. We found that in all of Sri Lanka, it's best to actually do walk-in rates and don't book online. The walk-in rates are significantly cheaper than the rates that you'll find online.
It's quite the contrary to all of Southeast Asia, where we found that online has cheaper prices like Jen mentioned. So we ended up walking around a little bit and we found this very nice hotel called City Grand Ella. The rooms are clean, pretty large. It has all the amenities we need, including breakfast. And just to give you an idea, online, the room was going for $40, but walking in, negotiating a rate, we were able to pull it off for about $26. So moral of the story is get on the ground, walk around, shop around, don't book online.
So with that being said, obviously the train drops you off here around sunset time, which doesn't leave much room to explore aside from the downtown area. So it's a new day and we are on our way to Little Adams Peak. From the middle of town, you can hoof it and walk. It's about an hour walk, I believe, to the top. Once you get to the end of the dirt road, you're gonna reach a set of stairs. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but it's not too bad of a walk up to the top of Little Adams Peak. Not to be confused with the Adams Peak, of Sri Lanka, which you've probably heard of, and that's the really big high mountaintop that people go up on a pilgrimage.
It's supposed to be where Buddha's footprint is.
Yes, and it consists of 5,500 steps. The reason why we are not doing it on this trip to Sri Lanka is because we are out of season for it. So typically people hike up there for sunrise, but in the off season, chances are you'll be standing in a giant cloud and you probably won't see the sunrise. So coming to Ella and coming to Little Adams Peak is a great alternative. It takes about an hour, give or take, from Ella Town Center to get to the top of Little Adams Peak. The walk itself isn't too bad, and it's definitely worth it.
But pro tip, don't take the transportation. It might save you about 20 minutes, but other than that, the walk itself is very scenic and the views from the top are absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, wasn't it? So just remember, when you're hiking Little Adams Peak, bring comfortable shoes, water, and plenty of sunscreen, because it gets bright up there. We're only here in Ella for one day, so we have to maximize our time. We're currently headed to the 9 Arc Bridge.
It's extremely close to Little Adams Peak, so when you leave here, you're gonna go down exactly the same way you came, except this time you're gonna take a right and follow the signs.
35 minutes in, we finally made it to the train tracks that are gonna take us all the way to the 9 Arc Bridge.
Do be careful though, because this is a live, active, working railway system, so trains do pass through here. Not too frequently, but just be aware of the schedule so you're not on the tracks when a train's coming.
If you don't happen to know the schedule, because we don't, it's okay. The trains apparently move slow and they will hit the horn. So if you hear the horn, hear the train coming, just step off the tracks. This is the archway.
All 9 arches.
So apparently this is a great representation of a colonial era style railway system in Sri Lanka. And what's really cool about it is it's actually made with no steel, just stone and cement.
We're not exactly sure when the bridge was built, but there's reports saying that it was constructed in the 20s. It's very popular to come see, not only if you can catch a train passing through, but because of where it's set. It's in this gorgeous valley surrounded by tea plantations, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Huge piece of advice when you're coming to the 9 Arc Bridge is look up the train times or timetables for the trains so you're not wasting time here. I've heard stories where people will come and sit there for hours waiting on a train. So if you know the exact time it's gonna pass, save some time.
Also, another insider tip. When you're done looking at the train, there's an alternative way to get back to town. There's a set of stairs to the left of the train tunnel. If you take those back, it's a nice shaded, wooded walk back to Ella Town Center.
Act like you know what you're doing.
Okay, so we're back in town, and before we head to Ella Rock, we're gonna stop, get some lunch.
We found ourselves at Matty Hut, which is the best restaurant in Ella. Everything we ordered off the menu was absolutely delicious. All the flavors were there. It wasn't too salty, it wasn't too sweet. It was perfect. Highly recommend that you come here. The guys are super cool, and the service is really fast. Ella so far has been absolutely beautiful. It's really a backpacker's haven. We've been walking around, seeing a lot of other tourists here. And one really cool thing about the city, or the area, is that most of the attractions, if not all, are all outdoors. So it's definitely for the adventurous and for the explorers and people that want to do a lot of physical activity. But on the other side of that as well, there's plenty of methods of transportation to get around, like the tuk-tuks you just saw, and you can rent motorbikes. So if you only have a few days here or one day, we'd probably suggest renting a tuk-tuk or a motorbike and knocking out most of the sites within that 24-hour time frame. But
it is walkable.
But it is walkable. Yeah. So if you want to designate 2 to 3 days to do it at a more leisurely pace, also highly recommended.
To get to Ella Rock, it's a trekking adventure all the way from Ella Town Center. So we're gonna try our best to document this so you all won't get lost when you come here to do that. Now the fun part about this is that it's about 4:40 and
yeah, we're pushing it.
The sun sets at 6:30 and this is a 4-hour trekking adventure. So
all right, so here's the deal. We messed up our timing a little bit and we thought we were gonna be able to take a tuk-tuk to Ella Rock. It's not possible. They don't go there. The closest they'll go is Kitale Ella, which is the next railway station down from here. So the correct way to go, if you don't wanna take a tuk-tuk to Kitale Ella, is to walk there from Ella rail station. And that's what we're currently doing right now. We're gonna try to make enough timing to get there before sunset. Now the biggest mistake that we made is we're going there for sunset. You're supposed to go there for sunrise. So the Ella Rock faces east, it's where the sun will rise. And then you should try to end your day at Little Adams Peak, which faces west for a sunset.
So your journey will start at Ella train station. From the train station, you take a left and you walk all the way to the next train station, Kita Ella. You want to keep going past the train station. You're going to come to a section that has kind of rock with vegetation on either side of it. And then there's going to be a strong left pin hair turn.
Between the 166.5 marker and the 166.25 marker. So when you come to this first bend and you see that rock and this tall grass actually might be cut as well. But if you see this rock and this grass, this is your hard left.
Okay, so you'll know you've taken the right turn when you get to this footbridge right here. After the footbridge, go to the right. It's really the only way you can go, and stay on the main path. So, very important, when you come to the yellow house, take a left and go up this staircase. When you get to the top of the hill, don't go up the stairs, take a right and go down the path.
Well, what's next, Dora?
This means you're headed in the right direction. So when you see this, it's good, keep going.
You're gonna hit a right, kind of go up. You'll know you're on the right path when you see kind of the farm side, a little bit of tea and a valley on your right. And on the opposite end, it'll be the hillside of where you're actually trying to go. So hang a left, and right after the valley and trees, you're gonna walk through the enchanted forest. We're doing this in broad daylight, so it's fairly easy. But it would be super tough to do this at nighttime or very early in the morning. So if you're planning on doing it, either of those times, bring a flashlight. but you could probably get away with using a flashlight on your phone or something like that. And definitely bring comfortable shoes, although we've seen people doing it barefoot, so that's pretty cool.
So when you get to this point, there's only one way up, and that's that. It's a little steep, it's a little rocky, and I assume it's a little slippery. So let's go. There's bugs in your hair.
My homies. It's no funny business.
Okay?
How far?
I don't know.
The sound of the men working on the train. Doom, doom.
All 9 arcas.
Arcas. Redo?
Yeah.
Okay.
This outdoor toilet, which is now a recycling center apparently. Do careful, or
Be do.
do be careful though.